Healing my gut with a low oxalate diet. Wow. Okay, let's get into this. Healing my gut with a low oxalate diet. Well, I'm not saying you can heal your gut with a low oxalate diet, but I bet you can. But let me tell you about mine. First of all, what is a low oxalate diet? First of all, what are oxalates? Okay, oxalates are found in plants. And oxalates are, you can call them phytoalexins. And phytoalexins are plant defense mechanisms. So pests, certain types of things do not bother the plants. Remember, the plants don't want to be eaten, even if you think they do. They don't. Remember, they're living energy, and everything is programmed to survive. I don't care what it is. Even a parasite. No matter what it is, everything has a directive to live, to survive. So how I healed my gut was to remove oxalates. And why would I change my diet? First of all, well, what do oxalates do? Well, if you really look into what oxalates do, oxalates are a complicated subject. And, you know, oxalates come in many forms, but let's just look at kale, let's just look at cacao, let's look at almonds, let's look at chard, collard leaves, just any of the greens pretty much, mustard, lettuce, any of the greens, and you'll find out that they're loaded full of oxalates. And these oxalates come in a free form or what's called a crystal form. Okay, free form means that it's oxalic acid, and oxalic acid combines with, let's say, the calcium that's in kale, because kale's loaded full of calcium. So is spinach. Okay, a lot of these different things that are very nutritious, as they say, are loaded full of the perfect storm. When you mix oxalic acid, which is a very corrosive acid, if you read the MSDS on that, you'll find out that that is a poison. And these plants have poisons in them. All plants have certain poisons in them. So again, what is the poison? It depends on how much you take. So I poisoned myself by taking too much oxalic acid in. Okay, and that was one of the substances I was taking in. But remember, a lot of these different plants that we eat, they have plant compounds in them that are defense mechanisms. Again, they're called phytoalexins. And these phytoalexins, or these plant defense mechanisms, if you take too many of them in your system and you are malnourished of other systems, well, then what happens is you start getting a host of problems that most people can't figure out why you're bleeding out of your arse. Okay, like I did for about 1.5 years. Wow. Okay, and if anybody was normal, they'd go to the doctor, and the doctor would put them on a host of pharmaceuticals, colonoscopies, and everything. Why? Because that's one of the symptoms of colon cancer. So, you know, and in time, maybe this type of problem that I had, okay, would have turned into that. I can even show you some pictures of the blood, so you can think that I'm not BSing you. Okay, so, anyways, swollen joints. Okay, your eyes waking up in the morning with this grit, they're just irritated all the time. Just bad skin, itchy skin, vulva pain, which is vaginal pain. All these things can be oxalate poisoning. Oxalate poisoning can be also in the form internally of kidney stones, gallstones, arterial sclerosis, atherosclerosis, brain sand, where you get calcifications not only in your brain, but you get them in your muscles. So oxalates can form in the body fat, and that's why massage really hurts, and or the gouacheing techniques that we show you really gives you, well, marks on your skin. Okay, the ecchymosis, which is the marks after the gouacheing, or just by getting a massage and all of a sudden you're super sore. These are breaking up a lot of the crystals that form in the joints. Some people with rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, these are all oxalate poisonings. So, if you wanted to take a break from oxalates, which of course that's what fasting is about, then you would start to dump these oxalates in your body. But then again, once you stop fasting, people start eating again the same foods. So what I've done is I've removed, just as the ultimate elimination diet, Okay, I've removed nuts, seeds, grains, greens. I'm still eating fruit, and of course I've added animal products. Lots of saturated fats and lots of rich, biologically related or similarly related mitochondria coming from fish, coming from ruminant animals, coming from chickens. Okay, all things that basically don't have oxalates in them. And the funny thing is that after about 2 weeks of not having any greens, I was eating, remember, green smoothies all the time, kale, spinach. Just if you make a smoothie with that, you could have up to 1,000 milligrams of oxalates in there in a smoothie. You can kill a dog, okay, very effectively, they say, with 3.5 to 5 grams of oxalates. Okay, remember, it's a poison. Oxalic acid mixing with calcium makes calcium oxalates, which is a hard, very sharp stone. This stone looks like it's ground glass. And if you have any inflammation, let's say you have prostatitis, you have joint inflammation from, just like I'm watching these guys go by me right now on the bicycles, and they're sitting on these hard seats, and you wind up getting, well, any crystals in your prostate, then what do you think those crystals are doing? They're irritating the tissues even more. So what I've done is remove all the oxalates out of my diet as much as I can. Okay, then you get what's called oxalate dumping. And oxalate dumping is where you get diarrhea for a couple of weeks. And your body basically starts ridding yourself of all these oxalates just because oxalates form in our body and they accumulate. They accumulate over time. And so again, when is the last time you've taken a break from oxalates? First of all, you don't even know what oxalates are. So we're just getting into some secrets here because there's an esoteric system here that doesn't really want you to know about isoflavins, phytoestrogens, pesticides, which of course are outside pesticides. Those are sprayed onto the things that we eat. The endogenous pesticides, those are the plant defense mechanisms, like cabbage has 49 pesticides that actually is in the plant, that grows in the plant. And if it's organic, it grows even more strong of these different types of internal plant pesticides. So processing plants is a must. Fermenting, watch our fermenting series, is a must if you want to eat vegetables. But right now, what I'm doing, I've just stopped everything. I'm only eating, and I did for the last 6 months, and my gut has magically healed. No bloating, no gas, and of course, best of all, no blood in my stools. So constipation or diarrhea comes with a lot of different irritation that we eat. Remember, most of the problems that we have in our intestines is because of the poisons that we ingest. Plants are mainly for detoxification and cleansing. That's what they're made for. Animal products are anabolistic. They're anabolic. They grow things, okay? Grow muscle, grow bones. They grow your hair, okay? Plants, they are catabolistic, okay? Or we call it, they're a catabolizing diet. And you can get, well, detox doing plants, but you got to watch it. And I'm not telling you not to do the vegan diet, but I can tell you this, that most people that go on the vegan diet in time, remember, it's just a fast, will stop the vegan diet. Why? Because it's not going to serve you. You're going to wind up maybe losing some weight. You may feel really good at first, just like you do on any change of any diet, even fruitarian diet. You're going to feel good at first just because you're fasting. Even when you fast for the first 4, 5, 6, 7 days with water, you're going to feel good. Why? It's because your body now is unloading a lot of garbage, especially if you're eating the very extreme diet called the standard American diet. That's an extreme diet. So remember, I was on plants, a ovo-lacto vegan diet. And vegan diet is nothing more than the same pretty much as a vegetarian diet, except the vegan diet has more religion to it. Okay, the vegan diet doesn't want you to wear any animal products. It doesn't want you to eat anything, even honey, anything that comes from an animal, eggs that comes from an animal, butter, cheese. which of course I would tell you, in my opinion, is a huge mistake. Your brain needs cholesterol, okay? Your body needs to make hormones, and it makes it from the precursor of cholesterol. So you got to really be smart. You can only last so long by doing a fruitarian diet, and you have to watch it, guys. Like I said, do as you want to do. I'm just trying to warn you. Remember, I've been doing this for a long time, 15 years. Okay, this has been my day job and my night job. We even went as far as to open up a superfood company. Okay, why? It's because I wanted to get hundreds of thousands of people, which we did, and let's see if we can thrive on a plant-based diet. Hey, how do you like my beard? That's about 2 weeks now. Haven't had a beard for 30 years, so I figured, you know what? I'm going to put a beard on. Why? Because I can. Now, you got to really think about this and think it through. If you're going to do a vegetarian type diet, a vegan diet, a fruitarian diet, okay, you're in time having an incomplete diet. This is why they want you to take about 30 different supplements, 30 supplements, to be able to maybe make up for the deficiency in the vegan diet. And that's going to cost you a couple $100 a month. And remember, it's all the grand experiment. They're pushing you right now to try this experiment. And like I said, I think it's a good thing for you, but it's not sustainable. So if you're going to do the vegan diet, then at least throw a few eggs in there, like I did. The lacto-ovo, okay, which a little bit of cheese, a little bit of butter, okay, raw butter. You can't have anything that's, if you're going to eat anything, you got to really think this through, okay? I mean, a low oxalate diet, okay, you gotta really think a lot of things through, is because, again, you don't even know what oxalates are. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start a diet that is chiefly oxalates. Okay, look at all the different things that you're gonna eat, okay, in a vegan diet or vegetarian diet. You're gonna eat soy. What's wrong with soy? Well, if you really research soy, you'll find out that it's a heavy-duty phytoestrogen. It's a plant estrogen. The same as, well, moldy things like moldy corn or flax oil, highly estrogenic. And why would you want to have estrogen in your body? Okay, like that, adding estrogen to your body. You're just going to mess up your hormones, guys. So, you know, you'll find out that a lot of people have a lot of confusion in their biology right now. So stop taking in the phytoestrogen plants, and let's see if we can get you back to the true male you're supposed to be and the true female you're supposed to be. I don't care what kind of gender you want to call yourself. You can call yourself a penguin if you want to. Doesn't matter. You're either a girl or you're either a guy, okay? Or excuse me, you're either a male or a female. That's what science says. Forget about what I say. Science says you're either an XX chromosome, female, or you're an XY chromosome. But anyways, let's get back to a low oxalate diet. A low oxalate diet would be to be able to cut out pretty much all your greens. Most plants have a lot of oxalates in them. Even the teas that you're drinking have oxalates. Green tea, black tea. Okay, you either are going to neutralize the oxalates, and I neutralize some of the oxalates in my tea with potassium bicarbonate. And like I said, we'll do a video on that so you can understand how much acid, and acid, remember, is poison to your body. It's bone corrosive. A lot of people drink Coca-Cola, right? They drink all these different sodas, and if you read the ingredients, it'll say phosphoric acid. Do you know what I use phosphoric acid on the farm for? I use it to break down rust. Phosphoric acid is a rust inhibitor. What it does is it kills the rust. And it's super, 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 super strong, and it eats metal. It takes the metal down to the bone. And if you eat these types of acid, oxalic acid, phosphoric acid, okay, acetic acid, then all you're doing is you're just causing yourself cellular destruction, and you're causing yourself bone destruction, because that's what these acids do. They're bone corrosive. Some of them are even nerve corrosive, because we don't even know how the human body works, and don't even think we do. We just don't. We don't even know how a blade of grass works, even though you can go to school and pay all this money to learn how the kidney works and learn how the heart works and learn how the brain works. Really, you don't know how it works, guys, because no one knows how it works. It's all theory. Big Bang Theory, the theory of relativity, the theory of gravity, the theory of evolution. You came from a monkey. Really, really. Anyways, it's all these theories. So when you really get down to a lot of things, we are an experiment, and we should experiment anecdotally. Antidote is your savior. What happens to not only you and me, but what happens to other people when they do similar things? This is how we do a lot of research. It doesn't matter what the epidemiological studies mean. Most of the studies that people say, okay, are, oh, cholesterol's bad for you, saturated fats are bad for you. Really. And fiber's good for you. Really. Again, there's a lot of controversy on all this stuff. And if you really look into it, you'll find out it's all controversy. It's epidemiological, which means associated studies. Associated. Here, let me give you a list and we'll check off. Did you smoke tobacco? How much meat did you eat? Okay, that doesn't say did you have grass-fed meat. Okay, you're eating, most likely, you're eating toxic meat. Okay, is meat bad for you? Of course it is. If you eat commercially based, conventional meat, they feed those things wheat, corn, soy, and if you eat wheat, corn, and soy, you get exactly what happens to the animals. They get fat and they get diabetic. Most of the animals, that's why they have to feed them hormones, antibiotics, okay, and vaccines. Why? Do you think they even give that to chickens? Is because you're feeding them an unnatural diet. Do you know that chickens, ducks, even cattle, they're omnivorous, okay? Obligate omnivores. They'll eat anything pretty much. And if you look up a cow eating a rabbit, a cow eating a chicken, okay, do you think they don't eat meat? Well, they eat meat every time they eat grass from the ground. And what kind of meat are they eating? Well, they're eating all the bacteria that are in there. Those are all flesh. They're all beings. Okay, the bacteria. They're eating all of these things. I don't care if they're worms, nematodes, whatever it is that lives on that grass, in that grass, crickets, insects, they are eating meat. So they're not just herbivores, because the grass pretty much is impossible for this grass to turn that 1,200-pound piece of cattle just by eating grass. Okay, there's more than what we know. Remember, they're eating from the soil. And they're eating everything that lives in the soil. Yes, they are. So, anyways, removing the oxalates out of my diet have healed my gut so far completely. And I'm eating, like I said, raw cheese, raw butter. I'm having grass-fed and grass-finished liver, kidney, muscle meat. I'm having organic chicken. I'm eating about at least a pound of liver a week right now for the last couple of months, on and off. Why? It's because it's helping me restore my vitamin A, D, E, K, K2, taurine, creatine, creatinine, all my B vitamins, and all the things, of course, we don't even know that's in that liver. And in order to regrow my liver, guess what? I'm eating liver because it's made up of the same stuff that I need to regrow my liver. Does that make sense? Now, plants, remember, are precursors, meaning that we can't absorb vitamin A from plants because there isn't vitamin A in plants. We have beta carotene, and beta carotene, of course, has to be you can say transformed, if it can be, into vitamin A or retinol A. So guess what a piece of liver has? It's already made up. 53,000 units of vitamin A and 4 ounces of liver. Whoa, daddy, whoa. Now, taking out the oxalates, basically what I've done is I've taken out the inflammatory products. So you can eat small amounts of oxalates. If you look up, you'll find out that you shouldn't have any more than, if you, let's say you had kidney stones or you just had any type of inflammation in your body, you don't want to have any more than 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams maximum of oxalates in your body every day. Okay, your body does make a small amount of oxalates, but why would you want to add oxalates to your diet? Oxalates are poison, remember that, look it up. Oxalic acid is poison. If you eat too much of this oxalic acid, you can die. Now, there was a guy that you can look this study up. He was having some sorrel soup, and he had several bowls of sorrel soup because sorrel has a ton of oxalates in it. And this guy probably had kidney disease already to start with. Doesn't matter though. It just shows you eating these oxalates causes a lot of damage, not only to the outside, okay? Well, not the outside of the body, but let's say your intestinal tract inside, but what about intracellularly? These small nanocrystals, these crystals are very small and they can be in free form and they can combine with other types of minerals and turn into really super hard rocks that are sharp, kidney stones. Most of them are made out of calcium oxalates. Some are made out of different things, but that's the majority of them. And you'll look up, if you look on the Kidney Foundation, they'll say go on a low oxalate diet. Anybody, I'm just telling you right now, anybody that's got any type of gastrointestinal problems, you should really look into this. And like I said, I'll do many videos on this in the future. Specifically, I'll do a lot on Earther Academy because, again, I'm not here to fight the vegans. I'm not here to fight your ideology. I'm not. Okay? Anybody, I can say right now, just about 99% of all vegans in time will be ex-vegans. How about that? Is because you're going to wind up becoming malnourished, you're going to wind up feeling terrible, and if you feel good, then that's good. You're one of the 1 out of 1,000 that do, that can last 5 to 10 years and thrive. And if you look up a good website, Vegan Deterioration, I'm even in there, and you can see how much I deteriorated over the last just 3 years. Massively, okay? I hit the wall at about 12 years of doing a, like I said, a vegan, and vegan means just plants, okay? Forget about the ideology. Remember, I take care of animals more than all you people do, most of you vegan, schmeegan people. Okay, I've got all different types of animals, my birds, my turtles, my ducks, okay? Yeah, I eat their eggs, so what? What, am I hurting them? I take care of them, I protect them, I give them provisions, I provide for them, okay? All things in the wild, they're lucky if they can live a year. Half of the babies, let's say you've got yourself, let's say you wanted to have some cattle. And you're out in Alaska, you're out in California, you're just out in a place that has wolves and coyotes and bears and puma. Let's say they have 2 children. If nothing is there to protect those cattle, those pigs, then if the predators are there, they're going to eat half of those children. And they're lucky if they can live more than a couple of weeks to a couple of months. That's the truth. Remember, nature is awesome, but it's also, I mean, you can call it barbaric. Everything gets eaten alive. Okay, yeah, people eat cattle. Yeah, they give them the best life in the world. Okay, if you're doing sustainable grazing. They live out in the pastures and they're eating green grass 24 hours a day. Well, they eat about 10, 12 hours a day, and they're living the life of Riley. Okay? Let that cow go and see if it lasts. See if it can survive from the cattle, from the things that want to eat the cattle. The bears, the puma, okay, the coyotes, the wolves, and they eat them alive. They don't kill them first. Remember, we have been eating animals, and as long as we take care of them, of course, factory farming is garbage. No one's asking anybody to have anything to do with factory farming. Factory farming is criminal. And that has to go with animal products, and it also has to do, guys, with where your broccoli comes from, where your lettuce comes from. Monocropping any plant kills way more than 2 cows that you would eat a year. It just does. And you'll say, no way. Well, it does. You spray Roundup, atrazine, insecticides, pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides on that monocropping, and you kill every rabbit. How do you think you kill the rabbit? You poison everything that's going to eat your crop. Okay, you poison the rats, you poison the squirrels, you poison the rabbits, you shoot anything that's going to eat. I don't care if it's deer or anything. Okay, the eagles, the birds that eat the poison that you put out, the hawks that eat the rats that are sick, they die. Everything dies. You wouldn't believe. I watch the farmers, how much poisons they put out. Tons of poisons. They spray the poisons and they put out rat bait, and everything eats the rats. Remember, everything eats everything on this extraction plane, whether you like it or not. If you want to suffer, guys, then there's no reason why you can experience that. But when you're finished suffering, you're going to have to figure out your diet, because if not, you will get sick and you will have to go to the doctor. I could have went to the doctor for my bleeding arse, and you know what they would have done? They would have put me on about $10,000 worth of testing. Colonoscopy, there's $4,000 right off the bat. Ah, well, you got this, you got that. Put me on a series of antibiotics and or whatever else they want to do to me. Okay, so what did I do? I removed what caused the problem, the oxalates. And remember, all the plants that you're eating, I don't care if they're organic, schmorganic, they still have poisons in them. The ones that aren't organic and all the ones that are processed, all that processed food that you're eating is garbage. Do you think processed cheese is good for you versus raw cheese? Of course, raw cheese with no RSBT. There's lots of nuances to all this stuff. And you got to really be smart about this, okay? It's not just eating a vegan diet. It's not just eating, you know, it's not the standard American diet. The standard American diet is just eat what you want, okay? If it's on sale, then it's a great deal. But the vegan diet, they want you to eat plants only, and of course you think that you can survive on that because the World Health Organization says that it is suitable for all ages, all creeds, all races. As a sustainable diet, that is complete horse pucky. As they'd say in India, that is a bald-faced lie. It is a bald-faced lie. Yes, it is. And if you think, okay, that you can sustain yourself, why don't you feed your child a vegan diet? You can see that a lot of vegan, look up vegan children, okay, or vegan mothers starving their children, and see what you come up with, and check that out. Like I said, look up the website, Vegan Deterioration, and you can see people that have been on the vegan diet from 3 years to 20 years, and you will see them massively degenerate. Not only physically, okay, 26-year-old girls and guys just looking so aged in 3 or 4 years, like you're 40 years old now. I'm not going to name names, guys. There's no reason to. You can see there's a lot of good channels out there. Bobby's Perspective. Let's see, Bart K, Nutrition Watchdog. Let's see, who else? Primal Edge Health. Let's see, Dr. Sean Baker. Let's see, there's a lot of them. I can go ahead and leave a list for you. I forget, now I usually have them on the top of my list. Okay, so Frank Trifano. They're just showing you basically, guys, a lot of the people that are doing these types of diets, so you won't, remember, no one's bagging on anybody. It's not hate speech or anything. It's just basically we're giving you a warning. I've been doing this for 15 years. Okay, another one is Dr. Paul Saladino. Dr. Ken Berry. There's a lot of them. Okay, and a lot of people that were in the vegan schmegan world, okay, and that's what I call it, they've defected. Okay, it's sort of like a Russian defector, right? And now they're telling about their story. That's it. Again, guys, do as you wish. All I'm doing is trying to give you a little bit of a pointer. And the pointers are that you better watch yourself, is because you will be malnourished in time. Some people can last longer than others, and it does make a difference if you can, well, biologically break down some of these plant compounds. And most of us really can't. Okay, we've been eating animals for as long as, well, we've been alive. Okay, generation after generation after generation, and there is no civilizations that just eat plants. And don't say there is. The Maasai, the Inuits, remember, they don't even eat plants. All they do is eat meat, and they've got the best internal gut flora out of all of the people, out of all the diets and everything. Okay? Anyways, I've just found out everything that I've been told pretty much, we won't say is a lie, but is backwards. It's just backwards. Everything I've been told, all the propaganda that I've paid for to go to school, fiber's necessary for me. How about insoluble fiber clogs you up? And maybe insoluble fiber makes you so you have so many anti-nutrients absorbing all the nutrients in your body, because that's what fiber does. You can't break it down. It causes you to get gas, it causes you to get constipated, and or you poop your brains out all the time like I was doing 12 times a day. Why? Because if you eat a lot, well, all that insoluble fiber has to come out. Why do I need to work my intestines so much? And you wind up possibly getting polyps and all different things. Could it be possible that having a high fiber diet is bad for you? Could it be possible that, well, not eating enough saturated fat is bad for you? Okay, your brain is made up of fat. Your body, your phospholipids, my skin, my hair, everything needs phospholipids, everything needs fat. Low fat diet is crazy. So, cholesterol, same thing. Cholesterol is the precursor to testosterone. And if you don't have cholesterol in your system in time, you start getting brain shrinkage. My eyes were sucking in on my head. Look at my prior videos. And you can see, that's right. Guys, I was getting sick. Not only did I look sick, I felt sick too. And I had to figure it out. I had to dig deep. I had to stop what I was doing. Why? It's because it was an experiment, and I can only go so far. Even my hair's going back. It's not as gray as it used to be, except for my beard. But my total aging right now, okay, feels like I've gained 20 pounds of pure muscle in my body over just the past 6 months. And 20 pounds of pure muscle is a bloody miracle. I got down to 127 pounds, and I'm going to go on several different podcasts, guys. So if you want me on your podcast, I'll tell you my story deeply to help people so they can make the decisions. Remember, going vegan is fine for a short period of time. It's just a spiritual fast. Vegetarianism, well, you're pushed into that usually is because your doctor told you, because he said meat's bad. And of course, feedlot meat is bad. It's full of estrogen, and it's full of heavy metals, toxins. It's full of the crappy food that they're feeding the animals, antibiotics, vaccines, hormones. Remember, you eat infected flesh, you get infected also. You eat infected fish, you get infected also. And if you can't stand, people say, well, I'd rather die than eat meat again. Well, then guys, you're going to suffer before you die. And maybe when you suffer enough, maybe you'll start taking maybe some liver pills, grass-fed, grass-finished. Maybe you'll start eating some pills instead of just frying up $3 a pound for grass-finished, grass-fed liver here. $2 a pound for kidney. $1 a pound for beef tallow, or what's called suet, which is my fat that I eat. Okay, so you'll notice if you do have grass-fed and grass-finished cattle, they'll be way leaner, and you'll find out if you have grain-fed or corn-fed, okay, like a carnivore, eating a lot of corn. Well, maybe you aren't, but the animals are, and they get fat, and they're diabetic. They've got all this marbleization in the muscle. Remember, lean muscles, okay, don't have body fat in the muscle themselves. They just don't. Okay, the marbleization in that fat means that they've grain-fed those mothers. They've grain-fed them. Because healthy tissue has fat, it has muscle, okay? And they are two separate compartments. Ask any biologist. It's just the way it is. You'll have some fat, yellow fat, okay, they call it, that separates the tendon sheaths and stuff in between the muscles, but that's it. That's it. It feels sort of weird to feel my beard. It's really smooth right now. Before it was sort of itchy for the first week. Anyways, I'm going to keep on doing my carnivore. Okay, I don't like to call it carnivore. I have a animal-based and fruit diet. And I eat my fruit right before I'm going to work out. That's where I'm going right now. I'm going to work out at the gym. And today is arms day. And I work out 4 days a week. That's it. And I work out for 40 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. And like I said, I've gained And I did before. When I was on the vegetarian diet, vegan diet, I kept losing body mass. I was losing body mass. And if I ate too much, well, of the things, just because it's plant-based doesn't mean you're going to get fat. Look at all the plant-based people. Why are you so obese, people? Why? Why are you obese? That's the weird thing. You'd think, you know, fruitarians, you get skinny and you get malnourished. You look at some of these different fruitarians, again, I'm not going to name their names. Raw such and such, and this person, this person. Guys, you are going to blow away in the bloody wind. Your arms are as big as my wrists. That is not normal. And you see all these even doctor vegans. These vegan doctors. Guys, look at you. You're not supposed to be skinny like that. And if you think you're going to feed your child, what? Soy milk? You want your child to be vegan, so you don't want to feed them boob milk? Really? Again, I think there's a little psychosis there. And, you know, like I said, the only difference, and you'll see that the vegan versus vegetarian is pretty much just the ideology. You're just plant eaters, either one of you. Okay? Yeah, but the vegetarians, oh, they'll have a little honey. Okay? And if you're a lacto-ovo vegetarian, then you'll have some cheese and you'll have some butter. And maybe some milk. And I think that that's good for you. Raw milk, raw cheese. Okay? Remember, again, where is your food coming from? And you're taking a break. Look, if you take a break from, let's say you've been on the vegan diet or just the standard American diet, take a break from, forget about the oxalic acid and the oxalates, the lectins, okay, which are irritating your gut, all the phytoestrogens, because these are the plant estrogens turning men into girls and girls into men. Okay, it's just what it is. All you got to do is see that there's a massive influx of effeminized males out there. You can look up and see that there is a massive loss in T. What is that? Testosterone, secreted by the testes. And if you ask those men that had low testosterone to pull their pants down, what do you think you're going to find? You're going to find not medium-sized chicken eggs, okay, because that's what testosterone, normal testes that are producing testosterone, you're finding out that they start to shrink down down to small little marbles. And that's not cool if you're a man. It means that you now are, well, not producing testosterone. And you'll notice, just like we're doing a retreat now, and 70% of the men that are there have man boobs. From how? Well, most of it's from the food you're eating. And it could be because you're eating meat that's full of estrogen, and that's the plant, the corn-fed, grain-fed animals. And that can be even far as chicken. Chickens, remember, eat meat. They eat vegetables. They eat fruit. Okay? They're scavengers. They don't eat frickin' seeds. We put on these animals on a vegetarian diet. Okay? Corn, wheat, and soy. Chickens, come on, guys. All you're doing is doing a disservice not only to the animals, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So, because you're going to eat those yellow eggs, and they should be golden. Good eggs are golden. Okay, we got 38 minutes. I'm going to go work out. Anyways, guys, reducing my oxalates has cured, and I can say that word for me, it's cured my intestinal distress. I don't have bloating anymore. I don't have blood in my stools, which is pretty scary. Okay, especially not just a drop. You're looking in the toilet and going, whoa, daddy. Oh my gosh. Talk about getting anemic. Yeah, girls. And okay, think about this. Vegan girls, do you bleed every month? How are you getting your heme iron? You getting that from plants? Good luck. Okay, you need some liver. Okay, you want to maybe spawn in the future. You want to have babies in the future. Well, you better go ahead and protect your eggs. And protecting your eggs from RF frequencies, from these telephones, from the iPads, from the laptops, better get yourself, well, maybe some protective gear like I have on right now. One last thing, look, I'm wearing protective gear. See, I got my silver underwear on right now. I'm armored up, okay? And I should have my protective shirt on right now too, which is made out of silver and or copper fibers. So I could deflect some of this wireless garbage that's in the air, because that's another way that we are being transhumanized. All of this stuff is not natural. Being vegan is not natural. No, it's not. It is a fast. Just remember that. So if anybody wants to tell you that that is a sustainable diet, then I want you, like I said, go to these different websites that I told you, and I want you, they're not bagging on people, they're just showing you because they care. I'm only saying this because I care. Yeah, I could lie to you and say, the plants are good. Yeah, I sell superfoods. Well, guess what, guys? We're going to close our superfoods companies down. We did this as a favor. My family has large other companies that pay for this loss of revenue every month. We've never made a dime on our superfood companies, and we've put millions of dollars into it. Millions, just to let you know. And we've actually got hundreds of thousands of people which have tried to do the plant-based diet, and you will lose weight. It is good. Like I said, 180 days on this plant-based diet, terrain modification, but make sure you have eggs, raw cheese, and raw butter. Doing the liquids of vitality, learning all the detoxification protocols, practices, and principles at Earther Academy is, of course, exactly what we've been touting about. But you do need to refeed. And right now, like I said, this is my New Year's resolution, is to rebuild myself and quit detoxing myself. I'm not taking any supplements at this time. The only thing I'm taking right now is magnesia and silica in my water. That's it. I don't take any supplements whatsoever right now. I'm taking a break from everything. Why? It's because I got all the nutrition I need. All the nutrition I need in the foods that I'm eating right now. So, okay, anyways, we'll see you on the next video. And remember, it's up to you. There's a million choices that you're being pushed to take, and you better have critical thinking. Critical thinking is what we all need. And I can show you some of my journey is because, like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years. Plant-based, detoxification, all of these different protocols, practices, and principles. And I can show you a thing or two. Why? Because I've been doing a thing or two. Sort of like farmers. We can show you a thing or two because we've been around to see a thing or two. Okay, anyways, aloha guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Whoa, daddy-o. And we got some sun today. And actually, again, some real clouds except for the microwaves up there. But other than that, it is a beautiful day. Okay, time to go work out. Aloha. And again, check out that beard. Okay, aloha.